But watch this. They didn't speak. We know God is going to save us from that furnace. But they said, if it be so, if it be God's will, our God whom we serve is able. Our faith is placed in the fact that he's able to do it. We don't know if he's going to do it or not, but we know that he's able.
Right.
And the question is, do we only serve God because we think he's going to do it? Or can we serve a God that's able to do something and won't do it? We don't know if God's going to do it or not. But we know he's able.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Father.
I don't know if God is going to let me survive these downsides or not. But he's still able.
Amen.
Reverend Marcus, you don't know if God is going to let you get through this last semester unscathed. But he's able. Terry, you don't know what's going to happen with Googie's school. You don't know if you're going to get back in the program. But he's able. Conscious, we don't know what's going to happen with school. But he's able. We have to trust God enough that we still love him just based on his ability. Because here it is. God's not required to do anything we ask him to do. He's only required to do his will.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, Joseph Black, you're wrong. You're wrong, Joseph. The Bible said he give us the desires of our heart. Well, that requires you abiding in him. And if you abide in him, and he abides in you, then the desires of your heart are really the desires of his heart for you.
Amen.
We have to trust God and love God enough that we just worship him based on his ability.
Right. Right.
Do we have a name it and claim it, blab it and grab it mentality? I spoke it, and it got to come to pass. And it's like God is our little errand boy. We send him on errands and have him completed, and get mad if he doesn't do it. They believe that God had the power to deliver them. And here it is. They said, one way or another, we're going to be delivered out of your hand. If he saved us from the fiery furnace, we deliver. If we die in the furnace, we still deliver. Either way it goes, we're not going to serve your images. How many of us, in the face of certain death, will still stand up for God? Say, boss, God can work it out where I'm your boss. Or God can work it out where I'm fired. Either way it goes, I'm not serving you, I'm going to serve God.
That's right.
Do we have that level of faith that no matter what happens in life, we're going to serve God? They vowed to worship God even if God didn't do what they wanted him to do. And here it is. I mean, but the world trains us to only love folks who do what we want them to do. We only love folks. We're happy when everybody does what we want them to do. And we have to break that.
Amen.
Because sometimes God has to save us from us. Because what we want to do will lead to our destruction. But secondly, faith will require your actions and not just your words. Starting in verse 19, then Nebuchadnezzar, full of fury and the form of the visage, was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was normally heated. And he commanded the most mighty men in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. And you go on and read. Never did they say, "Oh, King, this real. Hold on. We were just kidding. We'll go ahead and worship." But they was willing to do it. They was willing to see it to the end. A lot of us talk faith. And God says you have to live faith.
That's right.
James 2:26 tells us, faith without works is dead. If you trust God, your actions will show it a lot louder than your words. It's a saying, and we take it lightly, but actions do speak louder than words. I gave this example a couple of weeks ago. If I said I was going to give you $1 million, I was going to give everybody in this church $1 million, all of y'all will be at work tomorrow morning or this afternoon. Nobody's quitting their job based off of my word, because you know I don't have the capability to do it. But if Donald Trump came in and said, "Listen, I'm going to give everybody $1 million. Well, I need you at Atlantic Station tomorrow at 9 o'clock. No matter where you're supposed to have been at 9 o'clock on tomorrow morning, you would have been at Atlantic Station to get that $1 million because you believe Donald Trump had the ability." Just like that, God has the ability to do anything but fail.
That's right.
And so we sit up there and we talk, "God, I believe you can do this. God, I believe you can do that. God, I believe you do this, that, and the other." And yet, our actions don't show it. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego says, "Listen, we said what we had to say, and then we backed it up with our actions." You know, you can't say you believe God for something, and you don't act like it. You don't believe that God is going to do something, and you don't act like it.
Amen.
What you believe should be able to be seen by your actions. They still maintained their faith, even in the midst of the furnace. They never got scared and said, "Hold on, King. Is it too late now? Can we change our mind now?" No, they still went and faced the pain. And so many times, we talk good game. The reason we talk a good game and not necessarily walk a good game, because it's easy to talk it.
Yeah.
It's hard when it becomes a virtual reality to us.
Right.
It's easy for us to say, "I'll give everything up for God." But it's hard to actually give everything up for God. You know, I'm not like the old Baptists who said, "I came to Jesus just as I was, weary, worn, and sad." I was having fun in the world. And God says, "Give all this up to follow Him." It was easy to say it. It was more difficult to do it. And sometimes there's some things, God will do anything for you. And sometimes the thing that God requires us to do is the thing we very least like to do. Your faith sometimes will antagonize or anger others. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego angered the king because of their faith. And here's the question. Here's the $1 million question. Do you want to please God or please man?
Amen.
We're living in a world that is so politically correct, that is so biblically incorrect. We can't say certain things because it's not politically correct. We can't do certain things. But what if what God says is politically incorrect? If you study the life of Jesus, Jesus wasn't politically correct. Jesus didn't